Hey guys, and welcome to the video. Today I'll be going over the new update to Anubis. Valve have made some changes in the new update, especially to mid and A, and I'll be going over them. So once you come out here, T-spawn, A-long, B-long are unchanged, but there's some changes towards the mid area. Coming down mid as a T, you'll immediately notice this has changed. This was open before, a gap you could look towards A main. And here are the changes. The doors have changed direction. Before they were closed here, so you had to go around this way. And there's this big gap here. How this is going to change things is actually going to be very interesting, because you're able to fight this in a different way, which makes the mid control or the water control with T's much harder to come up here when they can be shot. I don't think you're able to jump up here. Could you boost? Or is it too high to boost? No, I think it's too high, right? You can probably spot. Wait, is this like... No, you cannot even spot. I don't think. No. I think you can do like a spot here on these boxes if he's playing the close angle, but I don't think you can counter it by boosting maybe the far back. Yeah, you can do it like far back here. Or you can jump up here. Okay, that's actually a pretty good like off angle maybe to catch someone off guard. Like you can even hide. So once you've taken this kind of war area, you could post up here. And if the CTs gets kinda like daisical, you could find them maybe this, but if they're aware, they could like maybe pre-fight this and have an advantage. Maybe situational. Maybe I think you could boost up here. Like this. Yeah. This probably could be some kind of counter mid-round to fight a timing on a guy walking mid. This probably was going to be useful. I think what is interesting here is how the mid is going to change the fights. You're probably still going to do the insta mid smoke here in CT, but you're not going to fight this, right? So you're going to fight something like this. I think it's going to be more. I think mid is going to be much more orb centric. I actually think maybe that's a good thing, because I feel like early the orb had to be like some of these angles here. You could search, you could go down con, find this, or you could support the A player, right? You would be supporting around this pillar, maybe like up close. You're playing it like a 2-2 setup, one playing anti-flash. This is more kind of the way the orb was used before, right? So I think, and you could of course also pick mid, but once you kind of lose this angle, right? You would go back, and what would you do? You could kind of play this, and you could kind of play. And I know you could also, if they're playing one in mid, you could kind of do this. But if multiple, it's kind of risky to play here. You'll probably just play passive here. I think this is actually gives more options to the op on CT. I think this is a good thing, because when this is smoked, you kind of play. No, you cannot spot it from here. So it means you have to play open, which means you could get spammed. I mean, if we do the molly, I don't know if this is gonna, yeah. I mean, this may be a better lineup. I mean, you could play like this. I don't know, there's probably gonna be some lineup here, like people are gonna do, which is gonna land here, so you cannot hold this. Yeah, I think this is gonna be it. So the CTs are gonna do this smoke here. T's are gonna do a molly here, so you cannot hold this. It's gonna be a wider molly, you cannot hold this. So you have to, you cannot even play like this. I think this could be an interesting angle as well. Like if the T's are mollying here, right? And this is not smoked, I think you could do kind of an off angle here. Like if they're walking up trying to get to con, you can fight them on this angle. Could be kind of cool. I just think it gives us more options. And I also do think, like, you can say this door thing, what does it change? You cannot play this angle anymore like here, where you have two angles in one. But you could play more like, if I think this again it gives more options to the CT orb. If you play it like this, you can easily fall back. Yeah, I think this could be an okay change. And you could also be kind of sneaky with if you play like a, imagine you play MP9 up close like this or something, and you could play an orb like here. could you play? You could even do like a. You could. I think you know what you're gonna do. You're gonna play a MP9 like this, and you're gonna play the orb like here. And if the orb takes contact, the MP9 can turn around, and then that way the MP9 is playing anti-flash here. You're not gonna flash this. So the MP9 is playing anti-flash for the window, and he's gonna turn around and take the kill. Otherwise, if they walk door contact, he can kill them here. And if he's holding, maybe you can even... Yeah, I think so, yeah. I think this could actually be a pretty good setup for the CTs. Well, you're playing 2 mid, but yeah, I mean, pretty standard, I guess. I think they also did some changes to this area here. They added this, which is gonna make B even harder for CTs to hold. I don't know if that's a good thing, to be honest, because I think you could do some kind of molly here. Yeah. This is just another fly. Yeah. This is gonna be harder to hold. Definitely. So what are you gonna do if this comes molly? I think you're gonna do this, and you're gonna play back angle like this. Yeah. But what are the other CT gonna hold? I think you're gonna have to play more. Like once on the set execute, I think you're gonna have to be more. But you're just gonna get smoked out, mollied out. I think B is gonna be more like. I would think maybe like A on Ancient. Like you have to take fights elsewhere, or you have to go kind of an aggressive kind of lurk. So like if you don't take the space B, kind of like the meta is already, to be fair, but you have to take space here. Maybe do something up close, do like a flash play out main, check it. The problem is this space is not that valuable. It's pretty hard to hold, right? So it's gonna be more like clears, and then you can play up close, you can go back. Because once you're on the B side, like it's so tough to hold already before the update, and now it's gonna be even harder. So I think either it's gonna be like you have to gamble 3B, play up close, play for con, stuff like this, right? Kind of like the meta already, but I think it's gonna strengthen the meta even more. Like, or you're gonna have to fight for map control elsewhere. But I think this is also giving more options in mid. So I think the CTs are probably gonna fight more towards mid and disrupt. Like even like forget about this orb peak. Imagine you're fighting up here. You're having the con guy fight down here. You do the stair smoke, right? You're gonna fight this area. The mid guy swinging like this, trying to fight. Yeah, I think this is probably gonna be more meta, definitely, to be aggressive towards this water area and fight for this. Because if you can take this, they cannot approach it this easily, right? This is gonna be much tougher. So then, if you have this area, like suddenly, if they only can be B main, it's gonna be much easier. So I think this is gonna be the new meta, to be honest. Fighting for this control here. Yeah, definitely. You can also jump down. Imagine you jump down this angle. If you shoot towards B, you have the orb holding this, or something like that, and you play this guy up close. Or if you don't have the orb, maybe you're swinging on contact or something like that. Could be interesting. If we go towards A, let's see what's changed here, because I know they added the box. Yeah. So look, they changed this box. It was here before, right? So it went up over this wall. You could kinda do like a off angle like this, but it wasn't really that strong. Now you can actually do like can you walk my whole way through? Yeah, with orb, but not with AK. Okay, so it's probably not good. It's probably gonna do like half damage, maybe less. Okay, but you can play this. I think it's good because yeah. Look. So once the roach, I think this is actually gonna be pretty good for the CTs. So you're gonna. I think the mid is gonna be fighting for mid, and you're gonna be fighting for B, right? And you're gonna give up A more, because look at what this does. You have the rotation coming in, and you're safe. Look before. If someone had this angle here with an orb or an AK, you have to fight this guy instantly. And he can always tuck. He has the advantage. He can kill and he can tuck, right? And you cannot refray him. Look now when you come into the site. Like if they have this area, this box is giving you cover. You can come in. You can fight on this side. You can fight on this side. You can come in, you can throw kind of util down here. You could even do like up here, force him back. Now you have to, because he's swinging in the open, you can fight him here. Does this change anything? Oh no, this looks the same. All of this looks the same. Yeah, okay, so I don't think this changes anything for the CT towards heaven or anything like that. You can play this still. I don't think this side looks the same. I think A main, yeah, A main looks the same. I think it's gonna be the same kind of A setups, but I think there's gonna be more tendency to leave it, right? So instead of playing with the AWP here, the AWP is probably gonna go A more, mid more often, or B. You could still do it if you have like a read. They're gonna be here. All of these angles are the same. So I think the same fights are gonna happen, but I think you're just gonna be playing more like anchor, more util heavy here. Block. You're gonna go back probably. Play some of these. I think this mid is gonna be the same on A, maybe, but like the anchor thing is gonna be doing the same thing, but less so setups with the AWP, to be honest, because this is stronger now. This box. I wonder if it's gonna change anything. Like, what you're gonna smoke this, right? You're gonna smoke this, and you're gonna like molly towards here. Maybe you're gonna molly backside as well still. So, do you do a molly here? I think you could. Yeah. This is probably gonna be. There's gonna be a lineup here where you molly like this, where you cannot play bricks, and you cannot play this box. Yeah. This molly I think is gonna be mesa 100%, because you can cover 2 positions here. You can still come out like this, but you cannot really fight left side. You're gonna have to fight right. Which means if you're going out of this wall, they know you're gonna have to be here if you're going through, right? So you're gonna. So once they clear the side, they're gonna hard swing this. Like, the good teams, they're gonna double swing this angle. So I think it's gonna be harder to hold and easy to retake. Not harder to hold, but like similar. I don't think this is gonna make a difference in the hold. Maybe you could play it like this kind of off angle, I guess, but this is kind of the same angle as this. I don't think it changes much, to be honest, on the hits. Maybe I could be wrong. I wonder if this is gonna change anything like on the retakes, because this box is not here. You cannot really play this angle anymore, can you? Kinda, you could see T's played this. Is kinda because this box was here. You could kinda play it like a cheeky angle. You're not gonna do that anymore, are you? No, you're not. You're not gonna play this as T. So there's less option. You probably... Are you gonna play this? Maybe. No, you're not gonna play this. No. You're probably gonna be playing more like this still. This angle, old school angle. Something like this, you can pivot and peek with this guy. If you have 2 people inside, 3 people, yeah, and one guy playing towards here. Or here, yeah, this seems like it. Because you have to be fight, like, I don't think you can play the post plan from here, depending on the timer, of course. Because you can easily get smoked off still. I think it's gonna be like you're gonna play here, you're gonna play here, you're gonna play here. And you're gonna play these kinda actively. So this guy's talking, you're swinging on contact. Right, same this guy, he's kinda swinging like this, jiggling. This guy is jiggling here, swinging on contact again. I think it's gonna be more common. I think, can you, ST, if you push up here, you're taking heaven. Is this gonna change anything? I mean, does it change this angle? I don't know. It changes this angle a bit, right? Because you don't have the kind of headshot like height difference in this angle. Because once you're up here and the box starts or stops, you're on the same height. So this is in a way easier to pre-aim like this, right? It's easier to aim headshot level. I don't know which favors more, to be honest, because you get closer to the angle here. It's tough. I don't know if it's gonna change much. You could you use it to? Nah, it's so... Like, I guess you could use this kinda as an angle, to be honest. Like, if imagine they're not mid and they're retaking from heaven. You could kinda play this, tuck, and then they get close, you swing. You could do that, to be honest. Like, they come up here, they clear, and you're swinging. Could be interesting. Could you do the same? No, I don't think you're gonna do the same on CT. It's a bad angle, kinda, because they're probably gonna molly it, even if they don't. I think like they are pre-aiming this area already because of this angle. So even if they're pre-aiming this and you swing as a surprise, you're right in the crosshair. Well, they changed this, right? I'm not hallucinating. You couldn't do this before. You could do a boost here, as I said before. I think this angle is probably going to be more common. If you take the space as T and you leave like kind of a lurk, and this, I know it is a common angle before to kind of find this guy. I think you're going to use it this exact same way, just to find this guy instead. This is interesting. I think imagine the T's have the side, right? The planter is supposed to and you're retaking from A, and you're coming here. You could also use this as a retake molly, right? Oh, there's gonna be some good lineups for this, I think. But you're coming retaking. I think this is gonna be like a common retake molly, especially if you pair it with like you swing here, right? Yeah, I think so. Because what is strong before you can kind of, if you know they're not here as T, you can kind of play this. You cannot really play this anymore if there's gonna be a molly. I think in general this area is going to be more key for both CT and T, because you can suddenly, as CT you can fight this area from up here better, and as T gives you more options once you have this. So I think the CTs are forced to fight for this more, and I think the Ts also, like, it was pretty standard the Ts were going to have this before. That's why the meta was that you can kind of do this smoke, like, and then the T's would just beat it. But on certain rounds, you would actually use it and do pushes towards this area, either from main or from con. And now this is even stronger because you can play this angle right and fight. So I think this is just gonna strengthen that meta where you condition with the smokes and stairs, and then, but I think more often you actually gotta fight for it. Because even like, what you say, like, oh, the counter is gonna rush B, yeah, exactly. But if you have this space now as CT, as I said, it's also gonna be stronger for retake. So I think maybe they are more willing to give it up. Could you do like, no? Yeah. I think you could do kind of like a. Ooh. Yeah, I think you could do kind of find a lineup that also covers this if you want, but like a one like right here. Yeah. So it covers a lot of this area. You could also do two mollies if you want. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's just gonna be this. I could be wrong. Could you do? Can you do anything towards side with this? Maybe you could. You're gonna have to experiment on this, but I think maybe notice this ledge here. Okay. Now I don't think you can do cypher. Can you do kind of counter molly? Yeah, I think you could actually. Let me see. You can. This is interesting. Because this is actually like one of the things before. You were always playing this angle here, right? You're jiggling, you're doing the molly like this. When they take this big, like you can do this smoke, but if they're too fast and beat it, you just go back. You play this, right? Could this be like Car and Banana, where the new meta on Banana and Inferno, you kind of play more retake towards the car? Like, there's not that. Instead of playing the side always, you can use the util on the car position to force them back. You do kind of the molly, the smoke combo, right? Could you do the same here? Let me just think. Like, if there's a smoke here, and you do this molly. Ooh. Can you throw that smoke from out here? I think you probably could, right? If you find the lineup. Yeah, something like this. I don't know, this is just an improvise, right? But imagine you do the lineup here and you do that kind of molly. You can kind of play retake like on banana. I think this is gonna be actually pretty good for the CTs now. I thought it was gonna be all T-sided, but I think it could be good. They take the space instead of always like fighting with Util early. You could kind of do the molly early. Could you do kind of like a? Let me think. No, you cannot really. I think it's just gonna be. Maybe it's gonna be more side centric. Is it? Well, no, I don't think it's gonna change my. I just think it's gonna give the CTs more options. Actually, I thought it was gonna be on T-sided, but it's not. It's gonna give the CTs more options. You could do the molly, you could do the smoke if you find the lineup right, and you're reclaiming this area. Yeah. I think this is gonna be. It could be a good option for CTs. Could you pair this with any kind of aggression here? Maybe. Like, I don't think you could be seen. No. No. Okay, so you can actually tuck here. Could this be I mean, maybe this angle gets stronger actually. I didn't even think of that. Like it's still tough to play, right? Because you're gonna get mollied. But if the molly is for this angle, you cannot play the orb. Interesting. Because if this molly is in this area to cover the orb not holding this, could you hide like here and play this angle instead? I think you could actually. But if you do the molly towards this area, you could play the orb like this. So you're gonna do double molly. Or what? Like even not late round, but like mid round. If you played this area before, now it's actually much stronger because you get more info. You can jiggle like this, right? And you can spot someone on the walk up here. Are you really gonna? Are you? Oh, I didn't even think of that. Like it's also gonna be hard to play, right? Because you're gonna do these mollies here. I think it's gonna be a game of like, which angle are you holding? Are you holding this one or the orb one? Which molly are you gonna do? When are you gonna play it? I also think this is gonna be like a util dump for the T's. You're gonna come up, you're gonna throw molly nade here. You're gonna do the molly above here, right? So this is gonna be a huge util dump, and you can say like it's unplayable for CTs, maybe. But it also means that like the T's has limited options late round if they're using this much util here in this area. And if they're not there, there's a quicker flank, right? So let's say they put pressure and they're not following up. If this guy is playing like here, or the setup before, where this guy was playing like this, what's to say he doesn't just like walk clear this? This guy does a flash here, and he takes this. Ooh, interesting. Even the lurk position from T is actually stronger. So if you're in a lurk position like this on T side, it's actually more strong because you can easily go back to help your mates here on B. Or if they take A space or something like that, you can actually hold the flank. I think this is kind of... It could be like top mid does too, right? Where you're playing for the short rotate. So you're playing... This way you're playing for the angle mid. You can flank them if the team is going A, right? You can flank them here. If the team is going B and they're taking water control, you can counter. I definitely could see you get some kills here. Imagine you're retailing from A, and you're coming here running up to retake B, and you have a T hiding here. This is definitely a free kill. Like, there's no way you're gonna check this late round. Are you? Are you really gonna clear it like this? While a guy could peek you like here? Probably not. unless you have a guy posted, right? If you have a guy posted with orb like this, and this guy clears it here, could be. But even like, he can clear it, but if this guy is talking and kind of like jiggling, like if he's talking, you cannot see him. To conclude, I actually think it's been some good changes to the map. I think it's nice that they are changing it because it was the most T-sided map in the pool. I think this gives some new options for both CT and T. This as well, it can be used for both retake and like the side execute. And this could be more used, like this is more useful for the retakes, I would say, for the CTs. And as well, maybe some precision for the T's and the post plant. So I think in general, it's a good change. It gives more like tactical options, I would say, for the teams. And yeah, let's see how it plays out. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next video.